there, this is TheRubyRevolution. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a very busy week in War Thunder. We've had loads of dev blogs this week and ramping up for the new hype with the new update which is coming out. I've also had a new battle pass announced this week as well, and then today we've had 2 dev blogs and also a teaser trailer for the new update, which is what we're going to be breaking down in a minute. Now, in terms of like the new vehicles which they've announced this week, they've announced a couple of ships, announced the HMS Blackpool, KMS Kaiser, as well as a new wheeled Chinese vehicle, and also a new Bradley as well. I'm not going to go into too much detail with them here. You can go check out the dev blogs for yourself if you want to have a look at those new vehicles. I've also had, like I said, new battle pass today with some pretty interesting vehicles. An 8-wheeled American like tank destroyer with a 76mm, I think it's the M55-1 if I remember off the top of my head, which is a pretty weird vehicle. I think it would kind of similar maybe to like how the Puma kind of works, you know, the German Puma with the 75mm, and that it's going to be extremely quick, but obviously the gun is just not got much traverse, so you're going to have to get into those good early game spots with it. I've also got a Type 1936, I think it's a Z25, and also a new Russian low tier plane with a 37mm and also 20mm guns. And then for the higher tier one, we've got a Centurion for Britain, which is a premium vehicle, which would be quite nice if you want to grind out some British tanks. Though knowing how they're going with the Centurions with Britain at the moment, they'll probably up tier this to Oblivion, and it'll probably sit at like an 8.7 bat rating or something like that. But anyway, the main topic for today's video is the fact that I just want to break down the new teaser trailer from the new update, which has quite a weird name, and I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. And I'm probably going to go with IXWA strike. I think that might be how it's pronounced, but do correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to breaking down this teaser trailer and breaking down the main points of it. I hopefully got everything right with this, which is in the video, but there's some things I don't entirely sure or certain what it is. So if you guys know, please let me know in the comments below. But I think I've got the general gist of what most of the vehicles are in this teaser trailer. So starting off with, which is definitely a new map, and it looks like it is a Chernobyl and Pripyat map, which is a pretty interesting 1980s map, although it is going to be, looks like another city map, maybe similar to like Alaska, which is a bit of a shame. I'd rather have another map or like a big map like Kursk or Falder for top tier, because the small maps, although they're nice for lower tiers, I need more maps which are way bigger for top tier because they just don't really cut it at all. So hopefully this might be a little bit more expansive than what we can see here, although very nice setting though, in terms of like the style of it. It would be quite interesting. So definitely a new map, which is good because more variety, because I'm definitely bored of the maps which are in the rotation right now. Anyway, moving on to the first vehicle, which is what you can see here in the smoke. Ooh, a little bit too far, which is what this is here. Now this, to me, I've had a little bit of a digging, and this looks like this here, which is a Ratel, which is a South African IFV vehicle. There's lots of variants of this with different armament on it. That one there from the trailer is a 90mm cannon on it by the looks of things. And if I scroll down here, you can see here there's lots of different variants of this. One with a 60mm mortar. I think this one's like a low auto cannon, something like that. This one here is the one with the 90mm gun on it. There's also a one here with a 12.7mm machine gun, which might be interesting to keep hold for later on in the teaser trailer. God, there's a lot of variants of this, but there's that vehicle here, and then there's another one here. Now I could not find out what this vehicle is. I tried having a look to see what kind of IFV it is, but I could not find a one which matched up with the whole front of this. So if you guys do know what this vehicle is or what it might be, let me know in the comments below, because I couldn't work it out. I'll find out exactly what this vehicle is, although it does look very similar to the Abiel, so I expect it to be kind of like similar in that degree. It's probably going to be a South Africa vehicle like the Ratel here. Anyway, moving on to probably the main thing that's going to be taken away from this video. This here, which some people think is a new variant of the MiG-21, but I think that this is an Su-17. There's a couple of reasons why. If it's like a MiG-21 for, say, like a new one for like Germany or something like that, this here has definitely got to be the Red Star Roundel for Russia. And the Su-17 has like a dipped nose at the front with the intake, which is a little bit different in design compared to the MiG-21, and you can quite see it quite clearly here, I think, where it's dipped down a little bit more. And what totally gives it away is the next part of the video here, which is this part here. But you can clearly see that they're operating a swing wing as the aircraft wings are moving backwards. Now, some people have speculated that this might be an F-111 aardvark, but they've very strongly denied that the F-111 is coming with this update, so I don't think it's an F-111. I think this is an Su-17, which is pretty cool. I did a video covering this last week, as well as lots of other swing wing aircraft, which might be coming to the game at some point, so go check that out if you haven't already, to discuss that in a way more depth. Now, the next thing here, I could not work out from this what this might be, although judging by some of the pictures of the Ratel, it might be this here possibly, which is an anti-tank guided destroyer. So it might be this variant of the Ratel, which will be pretty cool to see some different variants of this vehicle, but I cannot confirm that, and I might be completely wrong with that, but please let me know in the comments below if I've got that completely wrong. But anyway, moving on. So the next big part of this teaser trailer is this part here. There's quite a few bits to take away from this part of the video. The first part is that there is a HUD now. We're getting HUDs with this update, an actual proper HUD as well, with climb, dive bars, etc., which is absolutely awesome, especially for sim players at top tier, which are pretty interesting to see. The next big thing as well is that there's an F-5 Tiger coming to the game, which is what you can very clearly see here. There's lots of different variants of this, widely exported from America to lots of different countries. So expect this to probably come to quite a few different nations. Tech tree, it's a light attack aircraft. It can carry air-to-MSOs, air-to-ground as well. It's supersonic. Probably we're going to be around about the 10.0-ish sort of batter rating, maybe something like the Jaguars and things like that. So quite an interesting aircraft, very lightweight, going to be quite maneuverable, pretty nice aircraft to get into the game. There's also maybe something which I'm going to add it to here. So you can see here that they've actually got the F-5 in the displays down here as well, which is quite an interesting, and that might be some like meaning into this with like a head down HUD or something like that, or it could be like a targeting pod for looking at the target which you're meant to be shooting at. So basically that's what I'm getting at, is that maybe some sort of targeting pods might be coming to the game with this update, which you might be able to see with the cockpit. I might be completely wrong with that, but it's just interesting that they have like a head down HUD with display with what you're seeing outside as well. So there is maybe something in that, but maybe not either. Just a pretty interesting like little tidbit there, which I might be completely wrong, like I said, but just hold it in the back of the mind somewhat. Now moving on to what is next. Now this thing here obviously looks very French, but I think that this, when I've been reading on the Reddit, etc., this is a SK-105 Krauser, which it's a Austrian vehicle. It's basically based off the AMX-13, very much based off the AMX-13, but it has a 105mm gun and oscillating turret. Quite an interesting vehicle, and I expect this to probably go in the German tech tree, considering this is an Austrian vehicle, so probably a new light tank for Germany. 105mm, like I said, I think it says here on the Wikipedia page, so take that with probably a pinch of salt, but 360mm of penetration with the gun, so I probably expect it to fire like a Heat FS, although I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head from what it says here. And I expect it to probably go between 7.0 and 8.0, and a pretty nice, pretty cool little vehicle which will be coming with this update. Okay, next we have another couple of images of the new map. No idea what this says because I can't speak Russian, unfortunately, but it's just another look of the new map which is coming with this update. And that's coming next, which is what you can see here. This is a new Centurion. This is a South African Centurion, and hopefully I can pronounce this properly if I bring up this page here. Shikoen, which is basically a modified Centurion with a different engine in it. Basically, South Africa, they took the engines out of M48 and they tried to put them into the Centurions to make them more reliable. So basically, it's a Centurion with a different engine in it, and the back of the tank is slightly different compared to the British Centurions, etc. Besides that, though, from what I've read here, they're pretty much very similar. 105mm cannon as the same as the other Centurions, and you'll probably find that this will probably get up to oblivion as well. It'll probably sit around about the 7.3-ish sort of batter rating. Hopefully as well we get the Oliphant, although it doesn't look like it's in the teaser trailer. The Oliphant is a more original South African MBT, although it retains the 105 F-7A3 cannon, so hopefully we'll get that as more a sort of top tierish sort of vehicle, although it won't be top tier because it's nowhere near going to compete with, say, the Leopard 286s or anything like that. So hopefully we'll get that, and we should get that with this update as well. Anyway, moving on to some of the other stuff now. Now this is the vehicle here which was on about earlier, which is a different variant of this. Where's it gone? I've lost it now. Here it is. It's a different variant of this thing here, which is the Ratel, which looks like it's this one, maybe with the 12.7mm guns in it, which I'm not really sure why this one would come to the game, unless it's a very, very low tier, like anti-air or something like that. But to me, it does look very similar to the design to this. Maybe I have maybe some extra like 80 gems or something like that on it, but it does look like it's this variant with the 12.7mm machine guns. If this is like just the ones with the 12.7s, it's definitely a low tier vehicle, and there's no way that could be anything above like a 2.0 sort of wheeled IFE. Anyway, moving on. We've got some more images here of the new map of the Chernobyl Pripyat map again, which I'm not really going really too much into it. This here looks like it's the SK-105, firing in the dark. It definitely looks like the SK-105. Not sure if this thing had thermals on it. I can't remember if I read that a minute ago. Probably doesn't matter. What we got next now is right, here we go. We got the Roycat here with the SPA Roycat. This basically we already knew last week when they teased the South African nation coming to the game. These have the 35mm guns in it. Interesting that it's only prototype only of this, and they didn't actually make proper variants of this. I'm pretty sure this is going to be obviously very similar to like the Gepard and everything like that with the 35mm guns, but it's definitely just going to be a little bit more mobile, although maybe not quite as survivable as the Gepard, etc. And you can also see in the background here an F-5 as well, which is pretty cool. And that is pretty much it for this teaser trailer. Not as long as the new Power one, which came out last year, but definitely some new and interesting vehicles coming with this update. Quite an interesting nation, South Africa, actually. Not one I really expected to come to War Thunder at all. Not like one which I first come to mind as a new nation, but they've got some nice, interesting vehicles actually, and it'll be new variety to the game, which would be quite cool. And I expect them to be quite similar to, like, say, Italy, and that'll probably have quite a few like made-up meme vehicles in there, like Sweden as well. With some made-up meme vehicles which don't really get known about that much, so that'll be quite interesting to see. This is shaping up to be an alright update actually. Normally the first update at the end of the year, at the beginning of the year, is a little bit dry, so this one has some pretty interesting stuff to come with it. Obviously this will be like the tip of the iceberg, and I expect some more stuff to come with this update as well, so hopefully we'll get some more stuff with that as well. Somebody actually as well on my Discord earlier put a screenshot of the Su-17, and it looked like it was a War Thunder screenshot, and I started getting very, very happy, but then they said to me that it was fake, and I got very disappointed. So that's a little bit of a shame that Su-17 is not coming with this patch, but that would have been but it made me a little bit too much, I think. But anyway, that's enough, I think, for this video. Like I said, it's going to be like pretty short with this one because I'm quite short of time. So I'm sorry if I rattle through that a little bit more than what I probably normally would. But let me know in the comments below from these teaser trailers what vehicle you're most looking forward to, and what vehicle you're hoping is coming with this update, with this IXWA, or whatever the fuck it's going to be called. But anyway, please like, comment, share, all that good stuff, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one sometime soon. Bye!